Hello and welcome to this little guide on Sea of Thieves. I'm going to be going through some handy tips for new players. And our first tip of the day will be properly anchoring at an island. So what you should and shouldn't do is, as we approach this island, say we're going to do here a quest. While it is, if you need to come quickly to a stop, obviously what is possible to lower the anchor to come to a complete stop. What you should always remember to do is raise the sails, then raise the anchor, then point your ship away from the island. That way, if you ever need to make a quick escape, you're able to, and you're not having to raise the anchor first. You just all need to lower the sails and go. So my second tip is about the flags. So we'll go up here. Another common mistake new players sometimes do is they go, oh, look at this nice flag with the red skull. But what you shouldn't do is put this, because what most people don't realise when they first start out, they don't read it, they just think, oh, that's cool. But this flag actually marks you on the map, which obviously you don't want to be. So that's my second tip. Unless you want to be actual seen, you don't want to have this flag on. Right, on to my next tip. And this is all about how to fish. So this little guide on fishing, because it's not too hard once you figure it out, but once we finally get a bite, so you can find different fish at different locations using different bait, but the splash tags you can find anywhere. So when the fish bites, what you need to do is you need to just move in the opposite direction to what the fish is swimming. You just need to keep that up, and eventually it will tire out like that. Then you can start reeling it in. As soon as it starts moving again, stop reeling it in, just keep moving it. So if it swims to the left, obviously you pull it to the right. If it swims away from you, you pull it back towards you, etc. And we just keep repeating this process until we land this fish. And there we go. Right, now that we've got this fish, I'm going to teach you how to cook it to perfection. So we're going to put our fish down there, and then it will slowly cook. Now there's a little cue which we can tell that it's now fully cooked. Each cooking time varies depending on what you're cooking. As you can see, it's starting to change colour. It's not quite done yet, but you just hear the sound changing slightly. And that's a cooked fish to perfection. Right, my next handy little tip is going to be on the island. It's when you're doing quests on big islands in particular. If you're a bit unsure where you are located, sometimes it's easier. You're able to actually zoom into the map to get a better, closer look. Now, quite often it's easier to use these red plants because obviously they stick out quite a bit on the map. So it's all about finding the markers on the island which are easy to match up. So obviously the red plants help with that. And if you're playing on mouse and keyboard, then you can hit the F key while holding the map, and it zooms in a little bit closer. So in this case, it's always handy to keep an eye on the horizon as well, every once in a while. So obviously we know our map is we've got X's on the opposite side of these rocks. So we should go over here, and we should. So we can look at that. See the path. There's a red plant with a path going down. So there's that red plant there, which means our X should be about here. And we get that bad ball. Well, that didn't go to plan. Okay, so there is some wildlife which are a bit aggressive. Boars are kind of one of them. But that should have been the dig spot there. So I think that's a few handy tips for new players. And there's also a few extra little help in the settings. So if you go to gameplay, you can change certain things. So I play with reduce hold to interact. And what that does is when you're doing things like loading cannons, instead of having to hold down the key to unload and load it, if you have that setting turned on, for example, then you only have to hit the key once. That's just my personal preference. It's always handy to also turn your lights off as well, because it helps you stay that a little bit more, let's say you're like a little bit less visible. Anyway, that's all the tips I got for now. This has been hopefully a handy guide for new players, just a few helpful tips. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.